Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Ricky. We have a brand new Late Night Lake Show Spaces with Guru Stace and special guest Jovan Buha dropping back in to help us make some sense of the Patrick Beverly trade. If you're just waking up, Patrick Beverly is a Los Angeles Laker. He was traded in the midnight hour for Talon Horton Tucker and Stanley Johnson, which we will have fond memories of. Obviously, THT was drafted by the franchise, and everybody and their mama said that that was my doppelganger, so I guess I'll miss that as well. And though Stanley Johnson was a late addition to the team last season, he obviously had an impact on Lakers fans that, it's a little bittersweet to see him go. But at the end of the day, the Lakers knew that they needed some more perimeter defense, and that's exactly what they got. Mr. 94 feet, Patrick Beverly, is now on the roster. I don't know if you guys remember, but when he was traded from Minnesota to Utah, what he tweeted out was, well, looks like it's time to take another team to the playoffs. I guess we just didn't think that that team would be the Lakers with everything going on. But hey, here we are. And for all the folks, I'm sure I've seen it on the timeline already, for all the folks that absolutely hate Patrick Beverly down to every atom, I just want to remind you guys that there is a history of villains, enemies of the state, especially for the Los Angeles Lakers, that then join the franchise to help win a championship. Most recently, Rajon Rondo. You also have Jared Dudley and his previous comments about Kobe. You want to go even further back, you have Dwight Howard and his unceremonious breakup from the Lakers, part 1, only to have a part 2 and a part 3. Then you keep going back. Matt Barnes had his beef with Kobe. Ron Artest, Metta World Peace, had his beef with Kobe. Guys, we have to get to a point where we understand that competitors are going to compete, and our disdain for players is not shared the same by fellow athletes. If LeBron James is cool with Patrick Beverly being on his team, in the words of Kobe Bryant, if he's crazy enough to fight me, he's crazy enough to play with me. And that's the type of player I want. So please, let's just take a step back. Let's let the rest of the pieces fall into place. This was just step 1 in the Lakers off-season retooling after the Kyrie thing fell flat on its face. And yes, that was another embarrassing waiting game that the Lakers had to play. But let's just see how this works out. You got Pat Bev in now. Obviously, the elephant in the room is, how is him and Russell Westbrook going to coexist with all the beef that they have? Short answer, it's not. Russell Westbrook is going to be out the door. Looks like the Indiana trade is most likely. Hearing a couple rumblings about Charlotte again, so just keep your eye on that. But hey, if we end up getting Buddy Hield, Miles Turner with Patrick Beverly, that's a nice little starting lineup. Then you got, some good players, some young players coming off the bench with Lonnie Walker, and then we got Austin Reeves, and then the Lakers added some big men in Damian Jones and Thomas Bryant, where it's a nice little mix of youth infusion, and then you brought in a veteran that has a history of competing every time he's on the court. Yes, Pat Bev has a little bit of injury history, understood, but who doesn't at this age in their career? Long story short, guys, let's just see what the rest of the pieces look like, and let's enjoy the rest of the offseason, because it looks like we're about to get busy real quick. Okay, let's throw it over to Guru Stace in the Late Night Lake Show Spaces team.